What's up, everyone, and welcome back to my channel. I hope everyone is having a great and a beautiful day so far. So, what I want to get into today was from this movie that I watched last night called The Overcomer. Now listen, I don't know if any of you are familiar with this movie, but it stars the Pastor Priscilla Shiner. I think that's how you say her last name. But anyway, when I tell you that this movie is prophetic in so many ways, it spoke to me in so many ways. So I had to get on here and just give to you what I feel like God was revealing to me in watching this movie. So the one of the things that stood out to me was it was this previous basketball coach he was currently a basketball coach, but things were going south with the basketball team, which led him to have to coach cross country. Now listen, that right there is already hitting me in my spirit, because sometimes God allows certain things not to work, not to come together, simply because he wants to lead you into something better that he is going to do with you with that. Because sometimes we be feeling like this one thing is going to be the thing that's going to set us on top, that is going to change the game. But God has another plan, and God's plan is better. So that's why he will allow that one thing, that thing that we thought was going to work out, he will allow that thing not to work out, to lead us into something else, something better for us, something far more greater for us to do, right? Because just because this thing may be good or great, God knows best. So he's going to lead you to do certain things greater. Thank you, Holy Spirit, because I wasn't even going to get into that, but that was just hitting me in my spirit with that. So that was first and foremost because he just knew the basketball team was going to be the thing for this upcoming year for him. But God led him to go coach cross country. And in doing so, come on, Holy Spirit, it was only one girl who showed up. Now, again, this coach was used to teaching a team, but God led him to something where only one person showed up. And then when she showed up to run cross country, she had asthma. Now just think about that for a second, right? Because that is so sometimes how God operates in things that just look crazy. You took me from a promising basketball team that I knew that I had the players that were going to win this upcoming season, to lead me to coach cross country where only one person came to try out and she got asthma. Okay, no, God, you tripping. And then so that's what a lot of our lives sometimes look like. Okay, God, you tripping. But anyway, he still had to, coach her, because it only took one person for the team to try out. You didn't need a whole team in order to run or coach cross country. That is like messing me up. It only took just only one person showing up. And so that right there is also something that God was just speaking to me in. Like, it only takes one person. It can only take you to show up as long as you are showing up to that thing that God has called you to. A lot of the times we feel like we can't do something because we need a team. We feel like we need help. We feel like we can't do it by ourselves. Like certain things we be feeling like, God, I need you to send me help because this thing is too big for me to do by myself. And God is saying, no, I just need you to show up so I can show you as well as show other people what I can do with you and through you, no matter what you have going on. Because this girl had asthma, but again, she did not let that stop her, right? She wanted to try out because she loved to run. So therefore, she did it anyway. And so that is for somebody, regardless of what limitations you feel like you may have to do the thing that God has called you to do. You just need to show up anyway. Show up in your best and let God help you and do the rest, so that again, he can show you what it is that he can do through you. Just one person. Listen, God told Abraham, one person, that if you leave your father's house, many nations are going to come from you. At this particular time, Abraham had no kids, right? So I'm sure in his mind he was questioning, like, how is many nations gonna come to me? And Not even the fact that he didn't have any kids. It was the fact of the other thing that could have been a limitation to him was his age. He was old. So it's like you're telling me that many nations are going to come from me, a person who has no kids, and I'm old. But nevertheless, God, because you said it, I'm going to trust you and walk out on faith and leave my father's house off of the promise that you've given me. One promise, one person. David. Now let's talk about David, because David, his heart was already big for God, right? So you had Abraham, who just going off of the promise of God and his faith and his trust in God, to David, who took down a giant with one sling. One boy took down a big giant with one slingshot, with one stone. But the difference with David was David already was a man after God's own heart. He already had the heart posture, knowing and believing that he was going to be able to defeat the giant and take the giant out. Again, God using one person to do something big and something great. And that's the same thing he did in this movie. He used one girl, not a team. He used one girl to show what he can accomplish with what most people accomplish with multiple people. So listen, understand that God just needs your yes. God just needs your participation. God just needs you to show up and give it everything that you have. Because whenever you do so, you will see how great and how big God is. You will also see what it is that you are capable of, like what it is that you are made of, instead of looking at what it is that you see or what it is that you may currently believe about your circumstances, even currently about yourself. You may be the only one who can do it. That's why God is just calling you. And when a certain time presents itself, whenever you may need a team, God will then provide that for you. But most of the time, God just needs it to be you and him. He just needs you to see what it is that he can do through just you. And throughout my journey of doing these videos, I'm say journey, but the time that I have been getting on YouTube and posting videos, God has, I went back and looked over because I wanted to be sure. I thought it was only one video, but it was 3 previous videos that I've done before this video today, where God has been speaking to me with just one. So I don't know what God is getting ready to do, but I know that he is just saying that it's gonna be just you. It's gonna be something great that God is going to do with just you. It's just you and God and nobody else. God is going to prove some things to other people. God is going to prove some things to you. God is going to just prove who he is in this earth by just you. So maybe somebody needs to hear that. Maybe you've been scared. Maybe you've been discouraged, about it being you because of certain things that you have going on, certain doubts that you feel within yourself, certain insecurities and fears that has been causing you to not show up and say yes to what it is that God has showed you, told you, and promised you. Excuse me, but I'm here to tell you that God is saying that it's you. It's not going to be nobody else. It's you. And he's going to do something so big, something so great that you just don't even have no idea about. You're not going to be able to understand or believe what it is that you are going to accomplish and do because you said yes and because you showed up. So show up. Do it anyway, regardless of what your limitations are. And that's a word for me, because I've been letting some things get in the way of, what it is that God has told me and shown me as well. So again, if this message is not for you, I promise you that it is for me. So just understand that it's okay. And God is here with you every step of the way. So for whoever this is for, even if it's for one person, I pray that it finds you, it blesses you, and it encourages you to do what it is that you know that you need to do. So again, I pray that everybody has a wonderful, a blessed day. And I pray that again this video finds you and that it encourages you.